In this series of shorts, we follow 15 ordinary people on an extraordinary journey through Africa. In the ultimate test this summer, our participants fish in the Atlantic Ocean, sleep rough in the desert, fetch their own water, and confront the harsh truths about their home country's history in this continent.
So 1 month on, come back from Senegal, back to the normal routine. What have we learnt? I think having been out to a very different region, which is Syria, where you see devastation and need of a different scale, what we saw in Senegal was that there isn't really, it's a poverty of a different kind. There's not really a huge need for massive intervention. It's more about the little things that you can do. So we're not building villages or rescuing hundreds of thousands of people from, well, doom, if you like. It's more about tweaking things, giving them a well, or giving them a building, or giving them some chalk. It depends on what the need is.
When I speak of Africa, I have very fond memories. I'm always smiling, alhamdulillah. We saw so much, and honestly, I feel very blessed. Alhamdulillah, there's been lots of changes, because I think I came back and I realised there's so many things that we do and so many things we take for granted. Basics being electricity, even drinking water, because sometimes I fill up a pint glass and maybe even have just a sip and then pour the rest away. You know, there's people out there that have nothing. So I think these are the things that kind of affect me on a day-to-day life. What it made me do was to go out there and take action, inshallah. So I decided to raise money for a deep area water well, so inshallah I'm working on that, and then inshallah we're going to create some bigger events hopefully through the year with the rest of the team, and do them up and down the country inshallah to raise awareness and raise some more money and really truly make a difference.
I'm never going to forget what we saw over there. The way I've changed is I never take anything for granted now. I always, even when I open the tap, I just have to think back to when we were at the village and we were getting water from the buckets, and I just think back to that and I'm like, I'm so grateful that we went through that.
It was such a heart-wrenching experience that words genuinely cannot do it justice. The only things I can do now is make sure that they're in my every dua, and to make sure that I recognise the responsibility that's on me now, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken me there for a purpose, for a reason. You know, I was busy doing my own thing, minding my own business, when my path was suddenly diverted to going to Senegal. Now that only happens for a reason. And now that we've been there and we've seen their hardships, we all now have a responsibility to make sure that we fulfill the reason and the purpose as to why we were there. And that is because Allah recognised that we needed to be there for ourselves and we needed to be there for them too. And both of those things now need to parallel track so that we're able to help them, and by helping them in this life, they're helping us in the akhirah.
On top of the whole project in itself, I feel me myself I wouldn't really say I've changed after the week of living in Senegal. I've come back and I feel I just want to do more on this side and trying to get more projects going. I'm usually the one who comes in right at the end, and mashallah, my children, my wife, they're the ones who get on with the organising. I come in right at the end and just brush up and polish up the bits that need polishing up, and then get involved.
Ever since I got back, my heart is still actually there, and I feel very both ethically and I feel ethically committed to helping those the people that we saw.
Since we've been back, I just feel so motivated to try and change the world and try and make it a better place. Me and Anissa especially, we've been planning events for to try and raise money for the people over there. And we're just, all of us, all the volunteers, are super motivated to try and make a difference for all those people?
So since we've come back, I've always been remembering the people in Africa and everything I do. So even when I like peel carrots and when I make salad, I think back to the time when we were in the village and we were helping them and how they had nothing. They had no cutlery, they had no, nothing. They had nothing at all. So that's why I really, really, really feel passionate now to go and help them, because I've seen it firsthand, and we are planning loads and loads and loads of events, inshallah, and loads of big things so we can raise money for them.
So what have we done? We saw a widow with 6 children who was looking after her dead sister's 5 children. So she had 11 children living in complete poverty, and one of her kids needed an operation. Cost of the operation £276, and we took care of that. So hopefully it wasn't £100,000, it wasn't £50,000, £276. So hopefully change somebody's life.
Next time on Selfies in Africa, we hear from our team as they reflect on a trip that was meant to give them a reality check. A month on from the day this journey began, how do they feel about their time in Africa?